Hey friends, we're going to create a little card that you can do for pretty much anyone, but we've got Mother's Day coming up this coming Sunday, and I wanted to give you a chance to create a little card for your mom. Now I've done this a little bit earlier. I'll show it to you a little bit later in the video, but for the moment what I want you to do is to get yourself a sheet of paper. Whatever paper that you can find, it can be computer paper, it can be line paper, whatever you can find. And what I want you to do is to take this sheet of paper and we're going to fold this in half so it looks like a card. The easiest way to do that is to fold it kind of like a book. And you want to take these corners, these four little corners, and you want to line them up. And notice how I've got my hand kind of holding it right here. And I line up those little corners, and then I take this hand and I place on that edge so it doesn't move. And then I take my other hand and I press this down so that it makes a nice crease and a nice fold. Now, what I want you to do on this front of this card, we're going to create a letter. We're going to do a real simple bubble style letter. It can be either the M for mom, or you can actually use the letter of your mom's first name. In my case, my example was with my letter P for Perry. I used that as an example. Well, you can do whatever letter that you would like to do for your mom. And in this case, we're going to do M, just because mom or mother starts with the letter M. The easiest way to do that is to, and make sure you do it in the center of your paper. And we're going to do a capital letter M, and I'm going to use a pencil first in order to do this, so that if I make a mistake, I can easily erase those lines with my eraser. Now once I've got that letter in place, I want to go around this letter with kind of a bubble. I want to draw a line near that edge, not exactly on that line, and outline this letter with this bubble shape. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to start on this edge. I'm not going to touch this line, and I'm just going to draw a line kind of next to it but not on top of it. And I'm going to round this out, and I'm going to bring it down because I'm following that line, and I'm going to bring it back up because again I'm still following that line, and round it off over the edge, the corner there, come back down to the bottom of that line, and then I'm going to go on the inside of my letter. Kind of go up inside here, round that out, round that out, and round that out. Okay? Now, you can either leave this line on the inside, or you can erase it, and I did one a little earlier where I took out that line. Either one will work. In this case, I will leave the line in there. And what I want you to do is to add some design on the inside of this letter. For example, you might want to do polka dots, or you might want to do stripes, or maybe you just want to draw some pictures on the inside of that. If it's for our mother, she a lot of times likes flowers, so if you wanted to draw some flowers on the inside of that, you could do that. I'm going to go a little more simple, and I'm going to use just basic lines and shapes. So I'm going to start first, and I'm going to use a curved line, and it kind of looks like a half circle when you repeat it over and over and over. See what I'm doing? Just like a half circle. And again, I'm doing this with my pencil so that if I need to erase, I can do that. And I think I'm going to bring this line all the way down to the bottom so that it kind of completes that edge. And of course over here I want to do the same thing, half circle, so it kind of creates a design all the way down. Now on the inside here I might want to do something, let's go simple with again, and I'm going to do some stripes. And I think I'll do the same thing on this side, maybe the opposite direction. Something like this, and then maybe in the middle, And I've done this so I have like a pair of lines each time I drew this, so that I could go in with color and add some color. Now let's add some decoration and some flowers around this letter. Easy way to do flowers. Let me share that with you. If you will start with a circle and you add more circles around it, or you could even do ovals around it. Make sure those ovals touch that circle, and you keep filling up all the way around that circle. Eventually you'll get to a point where you've made a flower. Now that's one way of doing a flower. Sometimes my students might do something like a cloud shape, something like this, where it looks like a little baby cloud. And you can do that too, with a little circle on the inside. Maybe change up some of your flowers. Let them be different kinds of flowers. If it's a small flower, maybe add several of them. If it's a bigger flower, you might not have to add as many. But I want to fill up my corner of my card right here. And I'd probably add a few more down here. Now, some of my students like to do roses. Now, roses are a very hard flower to do, but I've shown some of my students with our Zoom session how to create a rose that's really super simple. So let me share that with you here. What you want to first start with is the letter U, just simple U. From the top of this edge, you want to bring it down to the opposite side, kind of a curved line. From the opposite, you're going to bring down another line that kind of touches it in the middle. See how it didn't go all the way down, it kind of stopped right there. From this point to this point, we want to add a curved line. So we're going to add something like this. Now it kind of looks a little bit like a tulip. For our little rosebud, we want to add a spiral on the inside, and I shared this with some of my students earlier. And you just add a little spiral, and it kind of gives the illusion of a bud for a rose. Now, you need some leaves, so a zigzag line off the bottom of this is perfect for its leaves. Add some other flowers. If you want to do some more of the roses, you can. You can add some extra ones in there. I'm going to do some more of these kind of daisy looking ones. Now, one thing I want you to add are leaves. I didn't add any here, and I haven't added any at the bottom either, but we need to add some leaves. So what I want to do is to create some leaves. You can do a leaf either with an oval, or you could do like a football shape. Easy way is a curved line this way, and then a curved line that way. And just kind of connect those 2 points. Add a couple leaves in there, and it doesn't matter wherever you want to place that. Down here, I might add a leaf maybe here, maybe another one here. And I feel like I got a lot of space right here. I might want to add some extra flowers. So I might add another daisy-like shape right here, kind of with like a half oval. Add a few little leaves in there. Now sometimes we have flowers that are really, really small. I'm going to add like a stem of flowers, but it's almost going to look like greenery with little baby leaves on there, little small ovals. And then in between, I'm going to do like a little star, something like this. It's an X with an extra line in there, and another little X with an extra line in there. And what I'll do when I add color to this, those little stars will look like flowers when we get finished with it. think I'm going to add another little flower down here, kind of that little cloud shape one. And maybe an extra one over here. Okay, and a leaf needs some leaves, so let's add some leaves. Okay, and if it's not perfect, just go with your very, very best. That's what I want you to do. Always do just your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do what you can. Now we want to add some color. You can do this with markers, you can do this with crayons. I'm actually going to mix the two. You know how I've shown you to trace out your lines? You can do that as well. In this case, I'm going to trace my lines with a marker. Okay, of course these are the leaves, and the petals will be done in a different color. And if you want to add inside those leaves a little line, that kind of makes it look more like a real leaf because they've got those lines on the inside. And of course my little rosebud needs to have the green on it traced. And I might even add a little bit of a stem on that. Now for your letter, you want to do the same thing. You want to trace those lines. I think I'm going to trace and outline this outside edge first. And you can use any color that you want, any design that you want. Since this is for Mom, most moms like pink, so I'm going to outline this first design with pink. Of course, if you know your mom has a different favorite color, maybe you want to use that favorite color. Okay. And then let's add maybe a little bit of blue in there. I'll do a little bit of blue, tracing those lines there. Okay. And I think I'll make our rose pink as well. Might as well do something different. A lot of times we think of a red rose, but this time I think we're going to do a pink one, or I'm going to do a pink one. Now for our flowers, our daisy-like flowers, I think I'm going to do an orange inside. So I'm going to trace that with orange. And then maybe do yellow for the petals. And trace over those. Can't forget these. Almost forgot these. I've decided today that I was going to do my art outside. It was such a pretty day, and I wanted to be able to enjoy a little bit of that day, so I thought, well, let's do this outside today. So you can probably hear the little birds singing and chirping and other different sounds. All right, so I've got my flowers, and I've traced over those flowers. Now I want to get a little bit more color in there. So I'm going to start using some crayons. I had put orange on the inside of this, so I'm going to take my crayon and I'm going to fill in those spaces. Likewise, I want to fill in my letter too. And be neat. Mama doesn't need to have it looking messy. You want to do your best, and like I've said before, let's fill this in a little bit and give those stripes a little bit more color to them so they're filled in a little bit better. Now if you want to color in the background, I did that with the other card I shared earlier. You can do that. If you want to leave it white, you can do that. If you want to write out Happy Mother's Day at the top, you can do that as well. It's really up to you and what you want this to look like. Let me get my little bit of a green here. I'm going to fill in these leaves. Some of them. Let's change it up and make it a different green so they're not all exactly the same. I think we'll do even another green as well. Let's do this lighter green. That would be fun. Kind of change it up a little bit. And over here, do the same thing. The very final step after you get everything colored in and everything looking nice, the last step, of course, is to fill in the card itself. When you fill in the card itself, you want to put something that you want to say to your mama. Maybe something like, "Mama, I love you because of all the wonderful things you do," or "Mama, you're the prettiest girl there is. I love you." And maybe you might want to put hugs and kisses. Whatever you want. You want to wish Mama a happy Mother's Day and let her know that you love her and that you are so happy you have a day that you can celebrate with her. Well, I'm going to show you on the inside. When you get done with your card on the outside, you want to make sure that you write a little note here. You can do something just as simple as Happy Mother's Day. And I'm using a marker to do this. You might want to use a pen, or you might want to use a pencil. And if you want to decorate on the inside here too, you are more than welcome to. It's your card. You do what you want to do and make it look the way you want it to. Happy Mother's Day. Let's do something fun. Let's give her an exclamation point that's made out of a flower. What do you think? Have fun, enjoy, make these look beautiful. This one I did earlier, I'll share it again. Colored the background, colored the flowers. Let's see what you can do. Have fun. I love you. Show me your work. Post it in Dojo. Bye.